Deputy Murphy.
Yeah, thank you. The primary function of the Oireachtas is to enact legislation. All the laws we debate. Sharing time with Deputy Ryan. All the laws we debate and pass will be underpinned by a belief or value system. For some, that's a religious value system. For others, values such as equality, solidarity, democracy, honesty, accountability form a civic morality that is not necessarily drawn from a religious belief system. I believe we need to develop a civic responsibility and a civic morality. To do that, we need to separate church from state. I was reading a well-argued article written in 2011 by Gareth Fitzgerald in the Irish Times. The title is "Ireland's Lack of Civic Morality Grounded in Our History." He compares our history to that of other European countries. I've got to say it's recommended reading, and I take selective quotes from it. Following our independence, his article states, the Irish Catholic Church sought to bend the new state to its purpose, relying upon the strong personal faith of members of successive governments to secure its objectives. And it succeeded up to a point. It secured censorship of books and films and was successful in having contraception banned. However, when in 1929 the Catholic hierarchy challenged the non-denominational provisions of our constitution by attempting to persuade the government to confine the appointment of dispensary doctors to Roman Catholics, it was outwitted by W.T. Cosgrave. He told the hierarchy that, as guardian of a non-denominational constitution, he could not implement a proposal and would have to resign from office if their proposal were to be pressed. The request was dropped. This underlying standoff between church and state seems to have inhibited the Irish Catholic Church from advocating civic responsibility. Instead, much of its energy was concentrated on aspects of sexual morality, an area where it eventually lost credibility. The consequences of all of this have been that a society with an educational system almost exclusively in the hands of the Catholic Church has left with virtually no tradition of or training in civic morality or civic responsibility. End of quote. The baptism barrier and the ownership and control of the National Maternity Hospital, it could be argued, flow from a religious belief system. It is part of the reason why we need to separate church from state and take collective responsibility underpinned by well-developed civic morality. In many ways, we not only outsourced service provision, and we're still doing that, but we also outsourced our morality as a state. The highest form of law in Ireland is our constitution. No law can be enacted that is repugnant to our constitution. I believe it is inconsistent for us to commence each day with a prayer. I question if it in fact reflects the non-denominational nature of our constitution. Religious faith, I believe, is a personal thing. It is hugely important to perhaps the majority of people in this country. Some people, like myself, are not believers, but it does not mean that there is an absence of morality or an absence of values. For those reasons, I can't support the retention of the prayer. Thank you.
Ryan.